Howdy, y'all. All right, let's do an assembly to everything we've done to the gun. But before I get started, I want to talk a little bit of what I've done actually since the last video. As usual, I can't leave well enough alone. This coming out only at 4 pounds with the creep it had in it. The 4 pounds I could deal with, but that creep I can't take that creep. I mean, I like a little. I don't mind a little bit, but it has a lot in it. So what I've went and done is I took the shear back out of it, took it to work, and I have a grinder at work that's got a large, I don't know, 1 inch or so flat face type grinder for grinding tools with a diamond wheel on it. And I went in and I touched up that face, this face, and then the face that runs, the trigger slides up and down on that brings that up. I took a little off of this at a time until I got it to where it doesn't have a lot of creep anymore. I mean, it takes a little bit to do it, and you got to do little steps at a time. Now, obviously you've seen that I bought this as an aftermarket. There's another deal, and I'm not 100%, but I think it is. It comes out of a more upgraded version of this setup that goes on the I want to say the 1702 or something like that. PCP pistol, target pistol. They have that. They also have, like I said, there's a aftermarket triggers with rollers in them. There's an aftermarket transfer shear here with an adjustment in it, and then I'll show some pictures of those right now. All right, so those are just some of the things you can do to the triggers on these things. Like I said, some of those parts, this is a part you can order straight from Crosman. The only thing, the Crosman is good, but you got to know that you got to have your part numbers, and they're very cheap, and shipping is like nothing, like $5, you know. But you gotta do your research, find all your part numbers, and order from them. Okay. The next thing was, obviously I've assembled these things and did some testing on it. I don't know if they've changed something. I know I watched a video one time and a guy was complaining about where this breech screw is here. The one he was showing was over here. And I go, I ain't never paid attention to that. But when I started trying to put this on, the hole for it is up here and not back here. So when I started trying to bolt this together, obviously the holes didn't line up. So I'm kind of wondering, you know, did Crosman change these? Because this is off an old 2300 that I custom shop pistol that I bought that I've converted to something else. So anyway, I ended up taking it to work and I drilled and tapped it to fit this one, which makes it a lot better because that hole is definitely not in the way of the pellet. That's what I was saying. I remember seeing a video of a guy saying, why would you put that hole right there? You know, your pellet falls in it and scratches it up and all those kinds of things. So that's something else I had to do. So, when I did that, now the hammer hits it. So I'm thinking they moved it up there to eliminate having to put this notch in it, because I know on the gun like this came off of, it has a notch on it to clear that screw. So I went and milled that out and made clearance for that. So what else do we do? Well, that's really about it. I did transfer port. I had forgot the transfer port because I wasn't getting what I wanted out of it. It's like, what's going on? I'm not getting any better. So took it all back apart and was thinking about it and doing things, measuring. It's like, oh, this transfer port, I thought it was like at 150 something. It wasn't. It was like 130 something. So general rule of thumb on transfer ports, especially ones like this one with bypass going through kind of like that, is 75% of your bore diameter. So technically this is a 218, so 218 times 75 or 0.75 comes out to 163. So what I done was I chucked this up in the lathe, and if you ain't got something that can really chuck it up good and square, you're not going to do this. But I bored it out to 166. That's the closest to 163 drill you can get, and that just barely leaves a little bit of bevel on the end here to seal up in the barrel, and then just enough to keep the O-ring centered on top of the valve. And I made sure, I went back and double checked this, and I had to open that up a little bit some more. So all right, so let's do an assembly. So what we got here is I put some of the Mach 1 secret sauce. I like putting them in these little containers I get off of Amazon. You get like a dozen of these for $10 or something, I don't know. Get a little of that on there. Gonna make sure we're gonna be in the right orientation. Where we at? That side up, or at least close as you can to that orientation anyway. Shove it all the way in till it stops. We missed the alignment just a little bit. Screwdriver, turn it around. All right. So the next thing we're going to do, let's move this out of the way. We're going to put the hammer in it. And what I got is a little bit of this moly grease. This is where I got here, Air Venturi moly grease. Try to keep y'all in focus, but y'all know how it is. All right, they're going in there. We need our bolt. Now this is a bolt I made. You see I've already been using it quite a bit. Bolt and handle. Now I bought I bought one too, so I can have a spare. You never know when something might happen. So I'm gonna put just a little bit of moly on this surface too. Get a little of that on there. Slide that in. You leave the handle out. Back it up to expose that hole, because that you need that to get to that screw. All right, now that screw, this is what they have in there. This is a low profile 448. It has an 050 Allen wrench in it. And what I do is I bought a pack of 440 button heads, and they're 1/4 inch long. What I do is I take them, put it in a drill, and knock it off, because these come like at 205, and this is 3/16, 187. Take a little file and knock that corner off. It don't take 2 minutes to do it. This has a 1/16 Allen wrench in it, and I know it doesn't sound like much difference, 50 to 62, but it's a huge difference in whether or not you strip that little stupid screw out. So, all right, put a little oil on our O-ring here for our transfer port, and that's basically just to keep it lubed so it will last a little longer, won't deteriorate as fast. This is the barrel side, and this is the O-ring side. All right, don't want to go in there. There we go. Now we need to put our cocking pin in. Get everything lined up. Where'd my wrench go? Allen wrench. And there's not much thread there, so don't over tighten that. You'll strip that out real quick. All right, now we can put our bolt in. If you want to put a little bit of blue Loctite on there, you can. There we go. Got that in. Now let's go to putting the trigger group on. Move this up out of our way. Now, here is my adapter that I made. This is for adapting an AR buffer tube onto it. So we are replacing this with this. Now I've got it marked. This is my upside. So we need spring. And I made this little guide to go in there. That'll also give us a little bit of pre-tension, and it helps with a guide from buckling up on us. Put that in there. We can come in with the top screw. Now you gotta change this screw, because this screw was the original screw is too long. You can cut it off if you want. I just made another one. Get everything lined up. There we go. So don't tighten it completely up. You need a little wiggle room here. All right. I'm replacing that screw that has in there with a slot, Phillips, whatever it is. I'm replacing it with an Allen screw. Allen cap head. All right. Don't forget your ball and detent. The ball goes in first, and then the spring. You can come up like that. Get them lined up. We'll put the front one in first. Like I said, don't tighten that up either. Get it just snug, kind of loose where everything will float around. Put the back one in. Now you can tighten that up. Go up here and tighten up the top one. And then go back and tighten this front one back up. All right, let's test all this and make sure it's going to work. Detent's working on the safety. Everything's working. All right. Well, it's at this point right here. Let's see how we did on our trigger pull. All right, let's test this trigger out. We already got it cocked. £1 1 ounce. I think we made an improvement. £1 2 ounce. And we can stiffen that up some if y'all don't like that light of a trigger. Let's try it now. £1 14 ounces. We'll leave it there for right now. All right. Definitely an improvement. Let's put our grips on. Since we're dealing with this end of the gun. All right. Next thing is we're going to put a pump on. All right, so here is the pin that I made. It's obviously got a screw on this end of it and a screw on that end of it. That replaces this stupid ass roll pin. So let's get some Mach 1 on here. Oh, before I go back, from the last video of me doing this, I changed this front O-ring to a 90 durometer. It was suggested that I put a heavier or a harder O-ring in there. That is so much easier to put together. All right, where'd the screw go? Where'd the screw go? Oh, doesn't matter. I don't need it yet because I'm a dumbass. Got to put the deal in here. And here is the sight that I drilled and tapped for it. I bought that sight, so everything slides over. Now, what did I do with the screw? Bet in the video I'd find it. There it is, right there. All right. It is so much easier to put together. Even though I got to tap this one in a little bit. Come on. Never goes right on video, right? There we go. Normally it just slides right in. As many times I've had this thing apart and put back together, working on it, testing it, stuff. Let me find my wrench. There we go. I'm going to tighten it on both sides with it to make sure it's tight. Alright, you can put some Loctite on those if you want. Oh yeah. Now, I'm going to be honest with y'all. Already done some testing on it, and I'm happy with it, but at the same time I'm kind of disappointed. I didn't get the velocities up like I thought I would get them up, but it's definitely better. And the main thing is we replaced this with this here, this here, which is a huge difference. And while I've got that open and thinking about it, I'm going to drop a little bit of oil in there so it'll go into the valve. We'll leave it right there for right now. Put the safety on. We got a set screw on the side over here now. Where'd my wrench go? Something's happened here. I think it got boogered up, my little set screw. Yeah, my little set screw's boogered up for some reason. So we'll have to fix that. Anyway, all right. Let's put the buttstock on. We got this UTG Pro, made in America, 6-position stock assembly. Now this is, typical AR. It comes with the buffer tube, the buttstock, buffer spring, and buffer, and the little alignment piece. So it comes with all this. So now I've got a spare for my other bug out gun. Here we go. Now I timed all this up so that you can leave the castle nut off if you want, or if not, just give it a good snug. and that's it. You can pop that right back off if you want to. I was thinking about some kind of quick disconnect. They make them and they're out there. By the time you do it, you keep extending stuff out, and I figured this was the quickest and easiest way to do it. You know, like say if you want to permanently mount it, you can lock up your castle nut. I didn't bring my AR-15 wrench out here, but you can lock that up if you want. All right, the TKO. Slide that on there. And it uses two screws on here, set screws. And all you need to do is just finger tighten them. You don't have to be super tight. All right. So everything's done now except for one more thing. Now, I'm just thinking about something here, and I didn't do it when I had it apart, so we are going to take a little bit of this moly, and we're going to place it right in here. We're on this pivot points. I forgot to do that a while ago. So we get some moly in there. Flip it over here and get some on this other side. There we go. All right. I don't know if it's all in the video yet or not. All right. Rear sights. I bought them, but I'm kind of thinking they may be a little short, so we're just gonna have to test them out and see. But Williams 5D series, you can get these are $45 for them. Now Crosman has a set. They're made by Williams, and they're exact same. Everything's the same except for it's open sight instead of peep sight. So, you know, that's what I was wanting is open sights. But they want $90 for them. I mean, literally twice the price, and I don't know why. So let's see here. We need, that's the 16th. Let's see. Let me check instructions here. Make sure we need anything special. Ain't no special, no instructions on it. Oh, there's the Allen wrench in there. Let's see what Allen wrench this is. Well, it's a 50. That's my 50. But my 50 sure don't go in there. Theirs does though. All right. So we need, slide this on here. It's a dovetail, by the way. Gotta back this screw off here. All right, we're gonna have to take it apart, I believe, here. screwdriver. It's too small. Too big. Too fat. Boy, I ain't having much luck here. Here we go. There we go. Back it up. There we go. We need to back this screw up right here. There we go. What I want to do is try to bridge these two surfaces here. All right. Just snug them up. You ain't got to get them crazy tight. Tighten this top screw down, and that should lock it in place. Drop this back down in there. Fiddle fart around with it. Back this screw up a little bit more. I think it rotated on me is what happened. Yeah, it rotated on me. There's a slide on that O-ring, that washer there. There we go. All right. There's the sights on it. Let me look. Yeah, I'm afraid they're going to be too short for me. I kind of was afraid of that. This is too tall. So we're going to come up with a solution for that. But let's leave this video at this though, because I know it's pretty long already. So all right, thanks for watching.